Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. I watched an awesome episode of Impact tonight. Impact tonight came from Salt Lake City. I am really riding on the high of Bound for Glory. Had a ton of fun on that trip. Had a ton of fun watching that show. And I thought, honestly, tonight's show was a really good way to kick it off. They didn't drop the ball on any part of the AJ Styles storyline. I thought that he was able to progress a whole lot. I'm going to talk about the rest of the show later. I'm mostly going to focus on the AJ Styles, Dixie Carter shit at the very beginning. AJ Styles came out to start the show basically with Dixie Carter kissing his ass, saying that, basically she didn't want AJ to go. Everything that she said in the past was a mistake. She picked the wrong guy thinking that he was going to lose, but she could not have her champion leave, and she was at desperation time on her knees. Much like at the point when she was trying to get Hulk Hogan to convert over to Team Dixie, only for Hogan to walk out and have her dragging, on his leg as he walked down the ramp to leave the show. Just sort of leaving Dixie in a desperation spot, saying that she would give AJ anything in the world she wanted. She wanted to give AJ Styles the big money deal. She got AJ a brand new car. She draped welcome back AJ Styles, even though the fact that he'd never really left. He won the title of Bound for Glory and he left Bound for Glory, but he showed up. He was a fighting champion even though he didn't have to be. They discussed over every part of the angle that they could have dropped the ball on. The fact that AJ Styles didn't have a contract and he didn't have to be there. What he meant when he said that he was going to have to pay. I honestly didn't like the part when when AJ Styles took the contract from Dixie. It looked like he almost tried to rip it up, but he couldn't rip it up because he was wearing those stupid gloves that he wears. But he balled it up and he wiped his ass with it. I don't know. I just wasn't in the mood for it, I guess. I was looking forward to some, real reality. And I don't really see me going into the boss's office and pulling that off tomorrow on my day at work. But everything else was really cool. Dixie Carter, in desperation of even trying to get AJ to sign the deal, said that the match with Bully wasn't going to happen. Bully Ray came out and ran down that basically this match was going to happen. He was going to whoop AJ's redneck ass, and he was going to take back the title that he was doing. We had a huge return, with Mr. Anderson coming back. Anderson came down. He got in a fight with Bully Ray. He came down. He delivered a huge promo, ripping all sorts of shit, making sure everybody knew that he was not a part of Ace and Eights anymore. And that he was going to be there to be a thorn in Bully Ray's side to make sure that he lost the match. Dixie Carter came out after this saying that he wasn't a member of TNA Impact Wrestling, that he didn't have a contract, that he wasn't supposed to be there. He just miraculously turned up backstage and ran down to the ring. He was arrested, took him to the jail. Bully Ray made it Nux and Garrett Bischoff's job to make sure that he didn't post bail, and if he did, that he didn't make it back to the Impact Zone. We come down to the end of the match, or the end of the show, I apologize. An awesome match. This one was not a no disqualification match. It was mostly all inside of the ring. Really good action for a TV match, especially with it being a title match that didn't end in a DQ or a count out or any sort of shenanigans along the way. Basically, AJ was able to beat Bully Ray. He was able to do it because of AJ coming down. Not AJ, I apologize. AJ's already in the ring. It was because of Mr. Anderson coming down after he had posted bail. He still had one. Maybe he didn't even post bail because maybe he didn't even make it to jail because he still had one of the handcuffs still around his wrist, and he was tormenting Bully pretty well. But the match, honestly, was about a 15-minute match. Honestly, really good. I didn't like how they put the commercial in the middle of it, but basically that's what they were supposed to do. They did a ref bump in the middle of the time when Bully Ray was tapping out to the Calf Killer. But, he was still able to pull it off and get the win. Great match. I thought that was going to be the end of Impact, but we still had one more segment to go with Dixie coming down to the ring and him having one more confrontation with AJ. Dixie trying to give everything in the world to make sure that he would stay. He just takes the keys to the car that Dixie was going to give him, walks to the back, and just drives off. And as he drives off, he holds the title out, just like, got your title, bitch. See you later. Honestly, I thought it was a very, very cool ending to the, not to the storyline, but to basically the end of the show. Where they go from here, yeah, they are, sort of doing what WWE did in 2011 with CM Punk. And a lot of people are going to be saying that, they're ripping each other off back and forth. There's people throwing eggs at TNA for teaming up Gail Kim and Tapa, whatever her name is, because they have AJ and Tamina going on right now as a storyline in WWE. Honestly, I think that, it's pretty soon to be doing this storyline again. And I know a lot of people are going to be knowing that it's not real. But honestly, I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun watching TNA right now, and I'm going to buy into it because I really want to see what they're going to do with it. WWE dropped a major ball with the CM Punk storyline, and maybe people can look at it 2 years later and be, trying to fix it. I thought that when the CM Punk deal was going down, that it was going to be one of the biggest angles of all time. And it ended up, within a couple of weeks, being nothing but a pile of shit. Punk showing up at Comic-Con when Triple H was doing the Q&A. It wasn't even a televised, thing. It was just something that spread via fans, through YouTube, through Twitter, through Facebook. I think there was a major story written on it on one of the main internet pages. But, it spread like pop culture. Like, this is the hot shit right now. Make sure you're watching this. I remember Bill Simmons talking about it on PTI, on ESPN. Very, very cool time in wrestling, and WWE did drop the ball. Everybody just knows that moment of CM Punk walking out on Monday Night Raw, holding the championship after CM Punk won the title, saying, like, I'm back, we're going to fight at SummerSlam, let's get it on. So, hopefully, TNA can look at what happened and fix what's going down. I think it's a little bit weird. The next big show that they're going to have, that more than likely, I think, is going to be a TV show instead of a pay-per-view, but it's going to have that pay-per-view feel to it. I guess the main storyline that's going to be going on is Bully Ray versus Mr. Anderson. Right now, maybe that's going to be to crown the number one contender, or maybe they'll make an interim title for somebody to hold, waiting to see what happens with AJ Styles. But it's kind of weird, because let's say if they do fuck this up and they do bring AJ back, who does he fight? Other than making this a three-way with Mr. Anderson and naming him the number one contender with Bully, and just making it a three-way match, which is something I don't think that anybody wants to see. But this is something that I'm not going to be quick to judge. I really liked this week's show, and we'll have to see where we go from here. A lot of the show, honestly, was a lot of, back filler to make sure everybody saw what was going down with Bound for Glory. If they weren't able to order the show or just didn't see the show. But they went over all the matches. Ethan Carter won a match in a squash match against some local guy that I did not know who he was. Kurt Angle and Bobby Roode came out. They fought around a little bit, but I guess the storyline that they're running with right now is that Kurt Angle isn't medically cleared to wrestle, and they got in a little fight about it, and I guess that feud is going to be going on from there. The Bromans came out. Looked like they're going to set up what it's going to be a four-way match for next week, which is going to be, I guess, the Bromans. We got Gunner and Storm. You got Bad Influence. And then for some reason, they brought out that fat fuck Joseph Park again with Eric Young. Everybody saw the return of Abyss at Bound for Glory. I don't understand why Abyss would return and then Joseph Park is just the normal dude again. I thought that we were building up to the point where Abyss was going to return and become a full-time guy. Abyss came out. He gave the big hug to Eric Young at Bound for Glory. That, to me, says they're a tag team. But I guess every week now we're going to have Joseph Park start a match. Joseph Park's going to bleed, and then Abyss is going to come out. I don't know. At the end of the day, Joseph Park's forehead is going to end up looking like Dusty Rhodes's, and I honestly don't want to see the day that's going to come. That was all the matches. That was all the angles. I think there was a chick match in there along the way with Gail Kim and Velvet Sky, but I honestly don't think I can remember what happened. But I don't know. Awesome episode of Impact. Who knows? Maybe this AJ Styles thing can revolve into him making the bands and making that he can. Every time he shows up on Impact, they have to meet one of his demands, and maybe that can lead to them bringing the 6-sided ring back or something like that. But I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be fun. Everybody have a good night. If you didn't watch it, make sure you go out away, watch Impact Wrestling, watch the main event, watch Bound for Glory, and that's it. Support TNA. Peace out.